Hi, I'm Saffron,
And I'm Sora.
and welcome to episode 9 of Strangers in Fiction. I can't believe it's
Yay.
been like 18 weeks worth of episodes because we do this every other week. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Wowzers, trousers. It's pretty cool though. We're
Yeah.
actually doing it and things are
hmm
happening.
Yeah. That reminds me that I keep getting emails from Cloudflare like, hey, your domain renewal is coming up. We're just like informing you a bajillion times about this like $10 charge that we're gonna do to your account. Just, so you don't forget that you have a website. And I'm like, fuck, that means it's been almost a year. Oh.
Of this?
No, not this, but like well, okay, not this that we've been doing it together, but like
Yeah.
in my mind, this that I've been doing like
Oh, I see.
marketing and
Mhm,
trying to network with other indie folks and
mhm.
just all the things. It's been almost a year. It'll be a year in August.
Shit a brick.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it
How do you
is
feel about that?
awful.
Oh no, that's a shame. Why?
Yeah, just I didn't think I was going to be an overnight sensation, but I did figure that I would find like, you know, a reader or like two by now.
You're asking for too much in the indie space.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Okay.
Jeffrey, I love you. You're okay, sweetie.
Oh,
Yeah, my
is he
Jeffrey is
tiny?
really upset
Oh.
because my friend who I married left
Mhm.
again yesterday. He was here for the weekend, but
Mhm.
he has another trip. So,
Oh, that's a
yeah.
shame. Oh. Well, is it for boat things again?
Sort of. It is for they're looking at a property that they're going to be purchasing out in the middle of nowhere in Alaska.
Oh, in Alaska.
Mhm.
That is the middle of nowhere.
Yep,
That's so bonkers.
it is.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just ask randomly how that's going because that's vaguely interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
It's going. Like they're gonna go check out the property, and if everything checks out, then they will attempt to purchase it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Making moves across the states there.
Yeah,
It's very exciting.
it is.
Will
It
the boat
is.
live in Alaska or are they two separate entities?
They are two separate entities, but
Um,
the boat will go wherever there is work to be had. If there's work in Alaska, that would be ideal because the boat is for things that are related to the property. They just also want it to be making money so that the things that they want to be doing in Alaska will be possible.
oh, okay. That
So,
makes sense.
yeah.
Mhm. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And so Jeffrey's taking it real hard, huh?
Yeah, he's a sad boy.
Oh, the,
He's a very sad puppy.
the saddest puppy. Oh,
Yeah. He's
that's sad.
okay though. Like he knows that I'm
He's
here
got you.
and
Yeah.
he still has food and water and he's safe and we still go outside multiple times a day.
No,
So, yeah,
that's
everything's
nice.
okay. He's just very sad
Oh,
that his daddy's not here.
well, I'm glad that he's got you.
Yeah, me too. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
it would be super irresponsible for a dog owner to leave their pet alone with no supervision and no one
Yeah.
to take care of them for an entire week.
Oh,
So,
yeah, they
yeah, that
definitely
wouldn't
have a
happen.
party.
Yeah.
I'd wreck the place, invite all their friends around. Couldn't do that.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
Oh man, this weekend was really, really busy. I did so much adulting.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks. It was awful. It all needed to get done like
uh,
desperately, but um it was all really shit.
oh,
It was not fun. But, it all needed to get done and it could only be done while Frank was here. That's my husband's name. My friend who I
mhm.
married is Frank.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd said his name at all before.
Not on the show, but
Okay.
I've heard it before.
Well, there you go, book goblins. My friend who
That's
I
very
married, my husband, his name is Frank. Please remember that so I don't have to explain it again. Thank you.
funny. I just I'm loving this like Frank and Jeffrey scenario.
Yeah.
Such a double act set of names.
They are. So it could only get done while he was here in
Uh-huh.
town because it involved a lot of driving and a lot of
Mhm.
just things. But okay, so what all did we do? I don't even remember anymore. I mailed a thing that
Mhm.
oh yeah, I already talked about it on the
Yeah.
podcast, so it's not a surprise to anybody.
Yes.
I mailed your thank you gift for the tea.
Oh, you're so
Yeah,
sweet.
thank
Thank you.
you.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
I'm excited for you. That'll make shower thoughts much easier to capture.
It's gonna change my life
Yeah,
and probably rescue my carpet because there's carpet
probably.
between my notebooks and the shower.
Oh no.
Not a carpeted bathroom,
Oh yeah, that would be
but there's like a
that's
stretch of carpet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Carpeted bathroom, that's not a good idea. Same with carpeted kitchen, not a good idea.
No. I
Uh-uh.
have had a carpeted bathroom, and let me tell you, it's gross.
Ew. Who
It's
would do
gross.
that?
The people that owned the property that we rented,
Okay.
it was a rental, and I was like, it's a rental? Why have you got. I'd have like cellophane all over the floor.
Yeah.
Maybe not cellophane, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like the cheap linoleum
Yeah.
flooring.
Well, it sounds like, despite it being stressful from the sounds of it and a lot of work and stuff, at least that's less stressful stuff ahead of you and more stressful stuff behind you.
That is such an optimistic way of looking at it. I love that so much.
I have to think like that, otherwise I'll perish probably.
Yeah.
I have to be
Yeah.
like, it's fine.
Mhm.
Uh, and other lies I tell myself, because otherwise I don't know that I could get up in the morning.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it was stuff that had been put off for a very, very long time.
Hmm.
Like some of the things that most of the things that I own have been in storage for a very long time.
Yeah.
And one of those places that stuff has been in storage is the RV, the
Hmm.
recreational vehicle where
Nice.
Frank and I used to live
That's cool as
before
shit.
we. It was not cool as shit. It was awful.
Oh.
I'm sure
Okay.
that like nomadic adventurous people are like all about it and it's really great, but like I'm the kind of person who needs a room where there are bookshelves and a
Oh,
door I can
yeah.
close, and it
Yeah.
stays in one place and has indoor plumbing. That's me. I'm a very modern person in that regard. I'm a very prissy, very modern person. I need those things in my life. If I don't have them, I go slowly insane. And that's
Like,
what I was doing for a long time. But
how long did
we
you live in an RV? I have to
uh,
ask questions about this now. I'm sorry.
yeah, well, okay. So we bought a house and
Uh
then
huh.
COVID happened and
Oh.
neither of us could find work, so we lost the house. So
Oh.
we had to live in an RV.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we were
That's wild.
technically houseless for quite a while. Um,
Wow.
but like moving has been something that I have done like 8 bajillion times in the last
Yeah.
5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I never want to do it again. But
Oh.
we finally got the stuff that had been sitting in the RV for like a
Hmm.
year and a half because we
Hmm.
moved abruptly. We didn't know
Yes.
we weren't gonna have a chance to come back to the RV to get the rest of our things.
Yeah.
And we just had never gotten back to it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we did that
Mhm.
and that sucked. It was a lot of work,
Yeah. No
but
shit.
it was really gross and dirty
Oh.
because like a year and a half of dust just on everything. And RVs are susceptible to mice. So we had
Oh.
mice.
Oh. Fun.
Yeah.
Any raccoons?
No, no raccoons.
Oh,
Just
they're
mice.
cute. Okay. Mice are cute too, but not when they're destroying your things and
Or
shitting
dead
everywhere.
on the
Or
floor.
dead. Oh god.
Yeah, that was the thing. I crunched it under my
Oh.
shoe. I
Oh,
know.
at least it
And
wasn't with your
nearly
hand.
I nearly threw up. But I'm okay
Oh
now.
no. That is absolutely traumatizing. That's horrible. Oh my god.
Like luckily I didn't put my full weight down on the
Okay.
dead mouse, but
Okay.
I felt a crunch and I looked down and I about tossed my cookies.
Wait, that is the best fucking saying ever. Oh. Oh god. And you said
Yeah.
you were wearing shoes?
I was wearing shoes.
Oh,
Thank
thank fuck for
fuck.
that. Oh, imagine. No,
No,
don't.
I don't
Don't
wanna
imagine.
imagine. Don't do
Don't
that.
imagine. No, that's stressful.
Yeah.
God, what a stressful time. No wonder it was
Mhm.
awful.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Shit.
But, like, that's mostly done. I only have to go back, like, one more time
Oh, that's
because
good.
I was nice to future me, and I got as much of it done as I could with the
Brilliant.
energy and time that I had. So and then yesterday, I got to go to the DMV in the morning. That was boring, but and also stressful, but I produced 8 documents, and I
Bloody
was
hell.
right? And I was able to get an ID, a driver's license, without testing again.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, because
Is
Jeffrey had chewed up the corner of my old Missouri ID.
so is it so I haven't got my driving license here. I have one
Mhm,
for England, but it's only valid for like 90 days after you move or something like that. So I don't have a valid driving license. And I've been dreading doing a test over here because
mhm.
it confused because we drive over the other side of the road in England.
Yeah.
So and all the traffic laws are different and everyone drives like an absolute bell end here.
Mhm.
And it's crazy stressful. And I'm like, maybe I could just be uh lazy and just get people to drive me around.
That's
I'm
what
not
I've
a, like
done
a
for most of my life.
but I kind of want to do that. But then I'm like, oh, what if I want to get a bar of chocolate in the night and I can't because I can't drive. And nobody's going to believe that I've gone on a midnight turtle run.
A midnight what?
Turtle run, like a
Oh,
run
oh,
for
okay,
the
to get chocolate
turtles.
turtles. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
fucking love them. There's not a lot of American chocolate that I'll entertain, but chocolate those turtles, those fucking turtles, there's something about them.
Are they magical?
No, they're just not disgusting. When you're a bit of a chocolate fiend like I am, you get the best that you possibly can,
Mhm.
and that's one of them.
Okay.
The chocolate itself isn't that good, but the other bits of it hold it up.
Okay.
That's my feeling about that. And
Have
I'll
you ever
take no
thought
further
about
questions. Sorry, what have I ever thought about what?
have you ever thought about making your own chocolate?
Yes, I have, and um,
That's a sign of desperation right there. But
mhm.
yeah.
It's very time consuming to
Mhm.
make good chocolate.
Yeah.
And you need a lot of space. And I do this thing where I'm like, I can make that, and so I do all the research and I print out fucking descriptions of how to roast cocoa beans and all that sort of crap, and then I'll have a notebook full of notes, and then I'll go, oh, it's a lot of work in it, and then I just don't do it. So I've got like notebooks just full of random shit that I want to learn. I'd love to learn how to throw pottery, but I feel like I'd probably get bored.
Mhm.
I just want to be able to make my own plates and mugs, but just one set, and then I'll be done with it. So, can you rent a potter's wheel? I don't know. Maybe that'll be something I'll research after this. But no, chocolate is because I was a chef for years, so it's like it's not outside the realms of my capability. It's it's just an investment in something else that's not going to make me money,
Mm.
and not that that's you know the only thing in life, but I do need to afford to do things.
Mhm.
Um,
Like buy chocolate.
like buy chocolate. So basically, it's all just a big scheme to get turtles. This whole thing.
Uh,
So yeah,
yeah.
that was such a tangent. I just had to escape from the mouse crunch, and I've just mentioned it again and ruined it. But
That's
I was
fine.
running away from it. I was
That's fine.
metaphorically like doing a runner. I was like, nah,
Yeah.
can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
so yesterday was like the major adulting stuff, the DMV
mhm.
and getting other car things squared away. Like license plates, and then we had to find a notary,
Mhm.
and I had to open a bank account that I don't want in order to use the notary services.
What
So
the
it
fuck?
was, yeah, yesterday was a lot of running around and just, oh, it was a lot.
Your, your poor brain.
I know, I
That's
know.
a lot of braining.
It it is. It is.
Oof.
I'm okay though. I'm okay.
You're here to tell the tale. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have the apartment to myself again, and I've
Sweet.
got a puppy to console, so I'll get to do a lot of
Ooh.
reading. I'm
Which is
planning
awesome.
on starting the Amber Isle today.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm really
Mhm.
glad that you found some series that you've been enjoying
Yeah.
through this.
Oh,
This is cool.
I was looking at the Never series, and
Mhm.
there are some of them that are available in paperback. So,
That's
I'm
phenomenal.
planning on getting the first 3 in ebook. I have the
Mhm.
first 2 already, need the 3rd one,
Oh,
and then I'm just gonna do paperback from there.
sweet.
Yes, I'm excited.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
You have to let me know how it goes.
Okay. I'm sure I will. Like, you'll you'll be
I'll
here
ask
every
you
step of
a
the way.
question. Yeah,
Uh,
I'll ask you a question just later down the line, and you'll that'll be a good segue into telling me about the tales of Never.
yeah.
It's very exciting.
Mhm.
Mm.
Are you not planning on reading the rest of the series?
Do you know how long my to be read list is for
No, I
this?
don't. How many hundreds of books are on it?
It's fucking loads.
Oh
I'm not exaggerating. Every single day I get asked to read somebody's book
my god.
directly.
Oh my
It's
god.
it's a lot. I don't mind it so much, but it is starting to get a bit overwhelming, and I'm gonna have to start saying no,
Mhm.
or don't expect me to read it
Mhm.
to people. Because I was offered a fantasy book from. I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't see the need to, but I was asked. I often get asked to read books to leave reviews,
Mhm.
and I only do aggressive positivity reviews. So if people want like brutally honest picking things out of books, I can't do that. That's not in my nature.
Mhm.
I can be critical, but only one to one, and I won't do it in a public forum because I don't think there's a space for it for me.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'll get people asking me to look over short stories, and there's a fucking pile of them on my Kindle, and I've got a pile of paperbacks, and a lot of them I bought. But I often get asked to read stuff, or oh, it's just a lot. I actually took a break and read a book that I chose on purpose, and it was like my brain just sort of like, oh, I felt like I was cheating on all the other writers that asked me to read stuff just because I had to take a little break. Because I like to, I used to be a mood reader, so I go, oh, I
Mhm.
fancy a bit of this or I fancy a bit of that. I just don't do that anymore.
Mhm.
So I got to read a couple of indie books recently and a couple of uh, traditionally published books, and I read both the indie books and I enjoyed them both. And out of the two trad books, I had to put one down because I couldn't keep reading it because it was so shit.
Wow.
And by shit, I mean like, where the fuck is this going?
Mhm.
There were two gorgeous hardbacks that I bought at half price books, and one of them was called Horror Movie. I think it was called Horror Movie.
I think so.
Absolutely
You showed me the
brilliant.
cover.
Yeah, it's got like a cassette tape on the front, and it's got like red
A
spray paint.
VHS tape, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
A cassette is
Phenomenal.
just music or sound.
Oh,
Yeah.
in England, sometimes we refer to them as video cassettes.
Oh, okay.
That's where that came from. So, and we call it a cassette. Well, no. Oh, do we?
I don't
Shit. It's been many
know.
moons since I've used a VHS. But yes,
Right?
anyway, that sort of thing. The movie related paraphernalia on the front. And yeah, it was phenomenal. Really, really good book. Really enjoyed it. So up my alley. And oh no, there was another trad book that I read recently that I really liked. It was called The Satsuma Complex by Bob Mortimer, who is my favourite comedian, who I've been watching and enjoying since I was a child. And this other one, and it was called, I think, like something similar to A Little Bit of Jen or A Bit of Jen, something like that. And it had
Hmm.
like a girl like climbing into like an old school um like web page, and she had like her underpants showing, and it was this
Mhm.
pink book, and it was in the horror section. I was like, that is so up my street. Something that looks unassuming and like girly, feminine, whatever, and it's in the horror section. I'm like, that's going to be either fantastic or awful, and it was shit.
Oh
And
no.
it was just so insipid, and like I could see where they were trying to go, but it just wasn't getting anywhere. And I haven't put down a book without reading. I read half of it, and I thought, I can't fucking do this to myself. It was so long. I thought, when is something weird going to happen?
Nothing weird happened through the first half of the book?
Not enough weird.
Okay. If
Um,
nothing weird happened, that's not a horror book, like, right?
it would, even the like foreboding sort of stuff is basically about this like couple who obsess over a girl on Instagram, and they like
Okay.
role play. Like the girlfriend pretends to be this girl, Jen, the one that they're obsessing over on the internet, and they have like weird little sex games and stuff. And to me, that's like small potatoes in terms of weirdness. I'm like, yeah, whatever, weird sex
Mhm.
stuff. That's just standard for the books that I read.
Mm.
But um, there's always a little bit of weird stuff in there. But I was like, okay, so what's the point of all? And I'm like, do they kill her? I don't know. I'm never going to find out. I might one day,
You
in
could
a
just look
drunken
up.
stupor,
Yeah, you.
decide that it's a good idea to return to this book, but I do not see that happening in the future. I will be keeping it because it looks cool, uh,
Mhm.
but I shan't be reading it.
Well, that's disappointing. I'm sorry that that happened or didn't
I
happen.
really had high hopes for it.
Cause yeah, you don't have time to waste on books that are not fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's
Yeah.
just one of those things. Sometimes, sometimes I'll read an indie book and I think, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. But I power through it out of the principle that I like kind of know that person. And I think, well,
Mhm.
there's a reason they've asked me to read it. And I will always, always, always find something nice to say about someone who has basically done everything themselves,
Mhm.
because I can see a more direct um, hand in from the person creating it. Whereas when I see books in like a bookstore, there's nothing wrong with them. There are so many trad books I love. I'm not shitting on them at all, but they feel like um, when you go to, I don't know if you eat meat, but if you go to the supermarket and you look at a packet of chicken, you don't necessarily think, oh, it's come from an animal.
You
Whereas if I went to a chicken farm and picked out a chicken and then someone killed it and then gave it to me, I don't think I'd get it out of my head and I'd think a fucking chicken died. It's that like detached meat packaging
mm,
feeling that I get where I'm you can't get anywhere near the writer, so I don't know who they are, what they're about, and it means less to me emotionally, I think.
mhm. I can totally see that. Yeah, especially because the chicken pieces in the package probably didn't all come from the same chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the chicken was probably very sad and underpaid.
The chicken in this case being a metaphor
Yes.
for
Yes,
the
chickens don't
author.
get paid, but they probably are very
Uh,
sad.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't I don't pretend to be able
No,
to
it's
empathize
terrible.
or
Yeah.
like, yeah, empathize with animals. But yeah, I don't like thinking about the fact that something died so that I could eat meat. I just don't.
Do you eat meat?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I conveniently forget about that, and
Mhm.
then I suddenly remember sometimes I can't touch it.
Mhm.
I go off it, and I'm like, "Oh, that feels like chicken in my teeth," and it sends me absolutely fucking reeling, and I cannot look at it for months. And then I just eat like tofu for ages, and then I'm like, "Oh, I really fancy some chicken," and I forget.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel that.
Do you eat eggs?
I do.
Do you ever get too eggy? Does it ever get too eggy for you?
Um, yes and no. Like I can eat eggs all the time, just like sometimes they make me nauseous for no reason. I
Mm.
have a really sensitive stomach.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I There's just something about like I really I'm sure there's a vitamin in them, or some sort of nutrient that I'm lacking. And so I really crave eggs. And then I eat them every single day and I go, oh, fuck, that tastes like egg. And then I can't eat it.
Mhm. Yeah, I do get sick of stuff. Like
Yeah.
anything that I hate leftovers. I hate leftovers so much.
But like, you can't eat them.
I will get sick of something the second
Mhm.
time I eat it within like the span of a week.
Oh my God. I totally feel you.
Yeah. It's just it gets so boring and monotonous and repetitive, and like my body's just like, "No, we already had that. It's time for something else. We need more variety." Stop. Stop eating that. You're going to get sick.
The only thing I've never gotten sick of is toast.
Okay. I mean, toast is it's so like bland and boring, D- and also versatile because you can put anything on it, I guess. The yeah. Do you
Hopes and
have
dreams. A lot of butter.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of butter.
Mm. There's a British. I'm feeling very tangenty today. I
Mhm.
apologize. There is a British sort of celebrity cook, celebrity chef. Her name is Nigella Lawson, and I idolize this woman. She's amazing, fantastic, glamorous, lovely, and she has this show. And I can't remember what the latest one was, but she shows this recipe, but it's not a recipe. It's just her buttering toast. Wait. She goes, "This is the secret to buttered toast," and she butters it, waits until it melts, and then butters it again. I tried it once and nearly vomited. That was a lot of butter.
Yeah, that's too much butter. Like if the bread
Yeah,
is soggy, you've used too much butter. Start over.
yeah, yeah. But I think about that sometimes when I'm buttering my toast. I think of her double buttering, and I think, I don't know, Nigella.
Double buttering. That sounds
Yeah,
like I don't know. It sounds weird.
sounds like a euphemism.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
we
But
could
it's
use
not.
that in a story, I'm sure.
Mhm. So your to read list. Do you actually have like a list where everything is like written out and you have the titles and the authors and there's numbers by each of them, or do you just
No,
like no? Okay.
no, I free fall into a pile of books in the evening, and then I just pick whichever one I want to read. I'm currently reading I can't say what it is or who it's from, but I'm currently reading a super secret first or second draft of a horror novel, and it's very good.
Cool.
But that requires a lot of concentration because I've been asked to actually like properly read it
Hmm.
and give feedback. So for that, I have to be in a good frame of mind to be able to actually consciously take in what's happening, because I find when I'm tired, like I also had a very busy weekend, so my brain's really tired, and I found myself like my eyes were skimming across each line and I was turning the pages, but I have no idea what the pages said.
Hmm.
And I had to like skip back and pick up something that was like monotonously boring or familiar, just so I could get to sleep, because I thought I'm not achieving anything by doing this.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I tend to I do get the option of like, you know, doing it when I want. I very occasionally have a deadline. I will always ask somebody if they ask me to read anything, "Do you need me to read this by a certain time?" Because if so, I have to put it in a calendar to remind myself, because I will forget it as soon as I put like my Kindle down or whatever. I'm gonna just start saying no for now and then
Hmm.
catch up, because it does get quite overwhelming because I don't want to let people down,
Yeah.
and that's why sometimes I'll like review like 8 books or something at once, because I put that on the back burner, and then so I've got time to read, and then I'm like, oh shit, I haven't put any of these reviews up, and occasionally people prompt me, which is incredibly embarrassing. So I don't want to like get into reviewing books as a thing that I do, because
Hmm.
it's really time consuming, but I
Yeah.
know that it means something to indie writers. So
Yeah. So when did that start happening for you? Like when did people start approaching you to ask you to read their stuff and review it?
almost immediately starting this stuff.
That's really bizarre.
I think because I'm quite approachable,
Okay.
and I will pretty much answer anyone's messages. Occasionally, I'll look at it and go, "Oh, I'll respond to that later," and I forget. And I never ever ignore anyone on purpose. I'm just very flaky. I, it's really happening a lot at the moment, but I think there are a lot of books coming out at the moment. Like this
Mhm.
next, between last month and probably 4 or 5 months into the future, there are a lot of books from authors that I know of or know or are mutual, followers with or whatever. So that I think that's why that's happening a lot now.
Okay. That
And
makes
then people
sense.
will see you that I've reviewed stuff and they go, "Aha, someone that reviews things." And I'm like, that's I don't want to keep doing that as a thing that I do, but I have to do it because I can't be like, oh, I want to help indie authors and then not do the thing that's the most helpful to them. Just
Yeah.
it's one of those rock and a hard place things. But I'm gonna have to start being a bit more sort of strict with myself with it because if I'm going to be opening this publishing house this year, I can't be fucking about. And Booked is going to change to a live format. That's going to take a lot of organising. I've had a couple of people reach out asking when I'm going to start doing the booking. So I've got people every single day asking me if they can be a guest on the podcast. And I have to go through this whole explanation of how that all works and stuff. And I just know I've got a few years worth of episodes already ready to be recorded, which is weird.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes I just bury my head in the sand and don't do anything. Occasionally
Yeah.
I'll have those days where I'm like, fuck everything. I'm going to lay on the sofa and watch American Horror Story or something and
Mhm.
vegetate. Do you have like a list of books that you like prioritize or do you read by mood?
Well, I do have lists of books that I intend to read.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of it is stuff that I'm rereading that I have read before,
Hmm.
because that's my research for the project, the thing that I'm writing right now.
Yeah.
Because,
That's
I'm
cool.
borrowing characters and lore from other works, so I need to be
Of
familiar
course.
with it, or I might
Mhm.
get it wrong.
Which would be so embarrassing.
It would be so fucking embarrassing. Uh, which is why, I'm revisiting literally everything that I have ever enjoyed, basically.
Funny.
But I'm also, trying to branch out and read some new stuff and read things that are just for enjoyment, both trad and indie.
Mhm.
So, I am a mood reader. I will read when I'm in the mood, but like it's good for me. This has been really good for me to give me a deadline because I can get in the mood
Oh, that's
to
good.
to read things if I have to have read them by a certain time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this has been good and I'm happy that I'm reading new stuff that I wouldn't otherwise pick up. Like Keeper of the Dead, that would have not ever occurred to me as something that I would want to read, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm glad that we did, and we
Oh,
talked about
that's
it.
really nice.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased.
Yeah, me too. But I totally feel you with the wanting to over, what's the word? Over commit yourself. Like, in your
Mhm.
position, I would be completely overwhelmed all the time. I don't know how you're functional and getting stuff done right now. What is your
Wine.
secret? Why?
Wine. But only in the evenings.
Okay.
No, I've it's because it's hot here at the moment. I can justify having a cold glass of wine,
Mm.
um, and that will, and I also will make sure that when my husband gets home, and this was a personal decision on my part to compartmentalize things, is that unless I've got something that's absolutely urgent that needs doing, I will shut everything down and I walk away from it because I can't. I said this to him the other day. I could literally work on stuff to do with this project of mine from the moment I wake up to the moment I crash out at night
Mhm.
every single day of the week for a year, and I don't think I do everything that I wanted to do. So I have to acknowledge the fact that I can't do the things that I want to do, and I need to put a lid on it so that I can function, because I've done the whole burning the candle at both ends and burning out, and that just puts you back 3 weeks because you're
Mhm.
recovering and like disassociating and whatever. So I have to be like, when I get up, I have my breakfast, I have a little coffee. If the weather's nice, I sit outside. If I have lunch and the weather's nice, I'll sit outside and I'll step away from it because I used to eat lunch at my desk and I was like, I'm not getting paid for this. What am I doing? So I've had to like structure it like an actual proper work day
Mhm.
because otherwise I will actually lose my shit. and I got really close to it a couple of months ago, and I had a couple of days where I just literally sat and fucking stared at the wall for 2 days. I was like, what am I doing? What am I actually fucking doing? And it was just, I didn't want to feel like that about something I care about, so I had to put that in place. Otherwise, I would have just given up on the spot, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard when you've got something that you really, really love. Like, you must think about your writing and your project all the fucking time. But if you worked on it every single day, I don't know that it would be sustainable.
I prefer to work on it every day.
Every
The
single day?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Well, you
My
could be doing things different.
Yeah, yeah, I feel best when I do wake up, work on the thing all day for like 16 hours, and then
Wow.
don't stop until I go to sleep. That's
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hyper focus. That's my jam. I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm really glad that works for you.
me too. I haven't been able to get into it in a very long time. So I haven't been very productive in a very long time. And it's getting a little ridiculous, honestly.
How does that make you feel, though?
Uh, I don't know. Like I haven't really had this problem since I haven't really had this problem with anything that I've cared about before. I haven't
Hmm.
experienced this kind of burnout, this kind of lethargy,
Hmm.
this kind of I don't really want to do it today feeling about something that I care about this passionately. So I don't
Oh,
I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with me basically for several months. And I don't know, but I do know that as of a couple weeks ago, the the absolute frozen deadlock stalemate writer's block is breaking up a little bit. I'm able to
oh
do a
my
couple hundred
goodness.
words here, a couple hundred words there.
Hmm.
I'm not back to my normal levels of productivity, so I'm not happy yet, but I'm the needle is moving, and that's something at least. I wrote 47 words yesterday. Hooray.
That's more words than I wrote.
There you go.
Have you had any other days between the last recording and this recording where you've also done a bit of writing?
I don't remember. I think so, but I don't quite remember. Um, Frank has been here for
Hmm.
most of that time. So, like, he got in on Thursday and he just
Hmm.
left yesterday. So, I haven't had a whole lot of time to not be worrying about what Jeffrey is doing and freaking out
Yeah.
and,
No, I get you.
just
I get
sitting
you.
and being quiet and being able to write. So, haven't had a lot of time.
But you still made progress, and any
Yes.
any amount of progress is still very, very good progress.
Yes.
So
Especially when you're comparing that with zero progress.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Hmm.
Well done. That
Thank
wasn't
you.
patronizing, that was sincere.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you what I have done every day, though.
Oh,
I
tell me.
have had a cup of tea every day.
Oh,
Yes. I'm
was it with the
enjoying the tea
Sainsbury's
you sent
tea?
me so much. It is
Oh,
fantastic.
that
It's
makes me
very
so happy.
floral, which is different from what I'm used to. So it's very
Yeah.
nice. I like
Oh,
it a lot, and I've
so
upped my daily caffeine intake from one beverage to two beverages, and I'm enjoying that a
that's so
lot.
nice. That's so oh, I'm so so pleased.
What about you? Have you done any writing since
I
we
don't
talked
know if
last?
it's been since we've talked. I feel like I haven't, but I'm sure I have.
Mhm.
But
I feel that.
the days have flown by. I don't actually know my arse from my elbow at the moment. There's been so much going on that, like, outside of projecty things and writing things, like life stuff, it's
Mhm.
just been fucking hectic. All of a sudden, everything's changing. And so I don't really know what's happening. I might have done, but nothing that stands out in my mind. I know that I'm making progress on it that I'm pleased with. And I can't remember if I said to you or if I said to somebody else. I thought I was finished with it, and then someone else came along as a character, and now I have more.
Awesome. that's super exciting. I love little surprises like that and big surprises like that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna end up being quite a short book, but now I think it's probably gonna be, like 60, 70K. It was gonna sit at 45, I think. The way I'd resolved it in my head, but I was like, "No, no, there needs to be more." It jumped from, like, one thing to another, and there was this thing missing, and I think that's one of the things that put me off writing for a while, is that I didn't really know how to stitch those things together. I
Mhm.
didn't realize it needed, like, a whole extra person. So, yeah, that's been cool. I've been workshopping it a lot and making lots of notes and sort of thinking about, the things that I need to include and the things that are going to make things make sense. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's exciting. I don't
Mm.
recall talking about that before, so that's news to me that
Cool.
someone else has
Okay.
shown up and that you thought you were done, but you're not. But that's
Yes.
really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Mhm.
All of it's still first person point of view, but there's going to be three main first person points of view telling different ends of the story, and then there are going to be like moments with other characters that will sort of meet along the way. It's good. I feel good about it. It's just a bit
Okay.
annoying because I was hoping that I'd be done. Because I asked a bunch of you being one of them. I asked a bunch of alpha readers if they would be ready for this time, basically 3 days ago, and I'm not done. So I might have to just be like, "Hey, this isn't happening." But I
Yeah.
know everyone's a writer, so I feel like they're going to understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, again, it's not like I'm not paying anyone.
Right,
I'm not getting
exactly.
paid, so it's all just payment in kind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a big deal to miss a deadline when you don't actually have a deadline except a self-imposed one. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we already established that I do not mind letting myself down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what's happening. But it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's all because of positive things in my life, and it's not because of like tragedy. So I'm just fine with it. I'm not
Yeah.
sort of like beating myself up because I'm like, oh, this nice thing's happening, and because of that, I'm busy doing something else. So that's
Yeah.
cool.
I feel you. Like, it's weird that we're experiencing basically the same phenomenon right
Yeah,
now, because like,
baby in the
that's where
tea.
I'm at. Ah,
Baby
but
is the tea.
it is the
Oh,
tea. No, it's probably not the tea.
this started way before the tea.
Ah, yeah, it did. But yeah, that's interesting. I have promised my I guess he's actually more of an alpha reader because it's I finish the draft and then I let him read it and
Mhm.
then he gives me feedback. So I've been calling him my beta reader, but I didn't realize that there were alpha readers until recently. So yeah,
Oh,
that's a thing.
yeah.
Um yeah, what was I saying? I literally don't remember. I promised him that I would have chapter 4 or I said that I might have chapter 4 ready for him to
Mm.
read like a month ago.
Oh
And
no.
he's just been waiting on it since then, and he's a very patient person. But I definitely want to have that finished and squared away by, like, if not this evening, then tomorrow evening. So
You've got this.
the fourth. Yeah, yeah. It's literally I have to Control X, Control V, a couple of paragraphs. So
Mhm.
cut paste a couple
Mhm.
of paragraphs, and then like fill in a couple of little holes. And by that I mean like maybe write 2 paragraphs, and then I'm done.
Okay.
So
Do you
yeah,
know what?
what?
Easy.
Yeah,
That's all you
yeah.
got to do is just finish that, and I will be asking you next week if you sent it.
Okay, cool.
That's
That'll
going
be
to be the
fun.
first thing I ask you. I'll say, "Did you send chapter 4?" And if you say no,
Then I'm
that's
in
going to be
trouble.
embarrassing. It's going to be very embarrassing.
Yeah. No, I there's literally no reason why I shouldn't be able to finish that tonight or tomorrow. So I'm planning on it, and then I'm hoping to move on to chapter 5.
You will
And
do that.
I'm caffeinated and rested enough that I should be able to do that. My brain has been mush recently, so yeah, should be able to. planning on it. Whether or
You
not
will
it
do it.
happens is not up to me. It's my intention, and that's all I can do. Set the intention.
You got this. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
thanks.
Welcome.
So, do you have any projection for when you are going to be finished with Blackout, or is that completely up in the air now because of new things?
Well, we're getting a dog, which is very
Yes.
exciting.
What is her name?
And
Does she have a name?
she has a name. I think we're probably going to keep it. We were talking about changing it, but we just keep shouting her name across the house because we're so excited. Her name is Paisley,
Oh my god, that's the best dog name ever! I love it so
isn't it?
much.
And she's so fucking cute. I can't get over her.
She
I
is.
think
She's
about her all
adorable.
the time.
Yeah.
I have been waiting for this moment for a very, very long time. Um, so yeah, we're very excited about that, but because of that, I don't know when things are happening. So I'm gonna basically just try and slot in as much as I can. I'm making a lot of excuses not to finish this fucking book. But we've got guests coming for like 3 straight weeks in about 2 weeks' time, which means that I have to I'm going to be entertaining them because I love them and I want to be there. And they've someone flying over from England and family coming from sort of states away, and it means that I kind of lose my office space a little bit, and my ability to like edit episodes are booked, which means that I have to edit in advance, like I did for England, and
Mhm.
just like spend probably most of next week just editing, which is very time consuming. So
Mhm.
I wanted to have it done by the end of May. That didn't happen. So I'm hoping it'll be by the end of this month, but I'm very pessimistic about that being a reality. Uh, so I'm just going to do it when I can and not stress myself out because nobody is asking for this book. Like nobody is like demanding it to be done by a deadline and all that sort of shit. So I'm only letting myself down, and as I said earlier, I'm not bothered by that. That's fine.
Well,
So,
I'm demanding the book. I want it. I need to know what
oh,
happens. I need to know how it ends. I'm
okay.
already invested.
Okay, okay. Well, I will do my very best. I
Thank
actually
you.
think I reserved a couple of chapters from you.
You probably. I
I think
think
I did.
you mentioned that you hadn't sent me everything. So
Would you like more?
I would.
Oh, I'll send you some more
Yay. It's tied me over until you're actually finished.
then. Give you a little
Uh,
fix.
yeah. No, I feel that from like both sides because that's the my friend who is an alpha reader for the thing that I'm writing. We've
Mhm.
been at it for more than 2 years now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
So,
wild.
yeah, he's extremely dedicated and I really appreciate him a lot
That's really
because
cool.
we read book 1 twice. And
Oh
we
wow.
finally moved on to book 2 and then he's had this like 6-month waiting period. So I feel badly that I have not been able to provide him with like just new content regularly, but that's why I appreciate his interest in this thing because if he didn't care then it wouldn't be motivating to me, but because
Mm,
he does care, I'm able to use the those feelings to motivate myself when I'm not feeling as motivated as I would otherwise. And when I am feeling motivated, it all the good feelings stack on top of each other, and that's really nice.
mm.
But like when I'm not feeling motivated and I'm falling what feels like behind, the guilt is not fun. But like also, I think we both seem to have a pretty good grasp of like what's reasonable, like what kind of feelings we should be having right now, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like you
Yeah,
feel,
yeah.
yeah, you you are behind your original schedule that you wanted ideally, and I'm behind, way behind my original schedule that I wanted ideally. But like we're not beating ourselves up about it. We're able to keep perspective, and I think that's really
Mhm.
important because yes,
Oh, for sure.
deadlines totally matter and they can be really motivating, but when they're contributing to feelings of guilt, they're just not, got to find ways to deal with that are not,
Yeah.
self-flagellating.
Well, yeah, because it's not constructive.
Hmm,
Like,
exactly.
there's nothing constructive about being mean to yourself. I do
Yeah.
it a lot, but I don't see that helps in any way.
Yeah.
And if you have a desire to succeed, just because you don't have the energy left in your tank or the inspiration in your heart or whatever, doesn't mean that you need to be like hard on yourself.
Hmm.
I mean, there are plenty of people that have that kind of personality, but I don't think you and I have the type of personality that requires in order to function or be successful.
Yeah, no.
And some people need to get out the whip and like hit themselves with it or whatever.
Hmm.
But I doesn't float my goat.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. It makes me feel worse
Hmm.
and saps my motivation and my energy and like the confidence that I've spent years building and just all of that stuff.
For
So
sure.
I try to be extremely kind with myself.
Good.
Yeah. Try to be
You
extremely
deserve it.
forgiving. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
And I I'm still learning how to balance that with like being too, I don't want to say too compassionate with myself, but like being a doormat basically for myself. Like, oh, I don't feel
Yeah.
like doing this right now. That's totally fine. I don't need to
Yeah.
worry about it.
Hmm.
Like, that doesn't always fly.
Yeah. I
That's not a
mean,
way to
there is
live.
a
That's not a way
balance.
to get shit done. So yeah, I'm learning how to strike the balance, but I think I do still tend toward being too hard on myself. So I try not to do that.
It takes an awfully long time to unlearn bad behaviors
Hmm.
as a human,
It does.
especially when it comes to you, because you can forgive yourself in a weird way or like
Hmm.
pretend like you're not doing it. Whereas if you've got someone standing in front of you going, "Hey, that hurts my feelings," then you have to like act on it immediately. But you can sit with that discomfort for a ridiculous amount of time as a
Hmm.
person. Um, so yeah, I mean, you have to recognize a lot about yourself and be very reflective,
Hmm.
um, to be able to successfully function a majority of the time. But it's absolutely fine if you aren't able to function every single day of the week for the whole year, because that's just not how reality is for a
Yeah.
lot of people. And having days where you are like checking out, or you can't emotionally or whatever, however you engage with things, um that's fine. Doesn't matter. Have that day. Feel those feelings. It's really not a big deal. Or feel those no feelings. Sometimes there are no feelings involved at all, and you are, oh, not you, but me, are an empty shell for
Oh
a
no.
couple of days. And that's fine,
Yeah.
because apparently I needed it. So if you're listening, one of the 5 people that listens to this, and you have times where you are not able to function properly, I need you to stop being fucking mean about it. Don't be mean to
Yeah.
yourself about it. Just do it. Just know that it's going to pass and it will be fine after that. And if you can just keep telling yourself, this won't last forever, it'll be okay again in a minute, you can just sit with it rather than stressing that you haven't done the thing that you promised yourself you were going to do.
Yeah. Don't be mean to yourself.
You little shits. Oh,
This has been nice. I really enjoy catching up with you and
me
talking
too.
about the weirdly similar stuff that we're going through with our
I
writing and life and stuff.
We're quite similar.
Yeah.
It's nice. It means that we can empathize with each other.
Yeah. And it means that we can also be like funny about it. I don't know where I was going with that. That sentence got away from me. That idea, I had an idea, but I didn't figure out how to articulate it before I started trying to say it out loud. So scratch
I could
that.
hear you giving up on it as you were talking. It was so funny. Do you ever do
uh,
that where you're just like, oh my god, I'm fucking bored of what I'm saying? Because that happens to me all the time. I start talking about stuff and I go, oh god, I've got to stop. I'm so boring. Oh,
uh, I don't think of it as boring so much as, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Why did I even open my mouth? Oh my god, I have no credibility. Please shut up. Please stop. Just digging yourself a hole. Stop. Stop. Yeah.
Excellent. That was brilliant.
Yes. So I'm excited for your new shelves, which is why we're not doing video today. We're just doing audio.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
because I've spent all day building shelves, not building them, I'm not a carpenter, but putting them together, and it would have taken half the amount of time had I have put all the right screws in the right places, and not had a meltdown and had to have had a sandwich break. So, they're currently up and behind me and not showing any signs of collapsing, which is a really good sign. But I, however, look like a not the cool bog witch, the bog witch that is gross and stinky and covered in sweat, and my hair is like greasy and slicked down on my forehead because I'm so sweaty.
Ugh.
But I did it, which is nice.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
they will be up for the next episode. I might even have a dog. Who knows?
Yay.
I hope so.
I'm really glad that you did take a sandwich break because, like, so many people, when they're frustrated, they just, myself included, we just try to power through instead of
No.
taking a break and eat something. But I am trying to get better about recognizing when I'm cranky because I'm hungry or I need to pee, and just like taking a break and doing the thing so I can come back and finish the task without hating life. So
Yes.
yeah,
I
self-care is important.
yeah. I noticed that because I don't get angry very often.
Hmm.
Injustice is getting my head stuck in a jumper and like getting frustrated that I can't do something
Hmm.
and I lash out. I never do it to people. Ever, ever, ever. But I punched myself in the hand. Or like like when you're like cartoon bullies will have like one open palm and they'll punch the hand and be like, you're gonna get this knuckle sandwich, that
Hmm.
sort of thing. And I did that in frustration and hurt my palm, and I went, "Oh no, I need a sandwich." But usually, it's solvable with a sandwich.
Hmm.
And if I don't feel good after the sandwich, then there is something wrong with me.
There you go.
I love
Most
sandwiches.
problems can be solved with a sandwich.
Unless you have some sort of allergy or disease that will be bad if you have that. So don't just eat a sandwich unless you can have them because you might die. So don't do that.
And
Disclosure.
there could be some deeper emotional problem. Sandwiches don't actually solve everything, but a lot of problems can be solved with a sandwich.
Yes,
Yes.
temporary joy or anger relief for me.
Hmm. Yeah.
There we go. This has been a pleasure.
Yes.
I had to say that the way I did because I keep saying pleasure, like with a J
Uh-huh.
or something. So that was a pleasure.
I I figured pledger like somebody who pledged a donation to
Yeah,
PBS.
yeah. Long live Sesame Street.
Yes.
um, anyway, this was lovely.
Yes.
I had a lovely time. I look forward to hassling you about chapter 4
Awesome. I look forward to
and
being hassled
talking.
about it successfully.
Yes, you
Yeah.
will be giving me some good news.
Mhm. Well, thanks so much for listening today, Book Goblins. If you made it this far, you are an awesome person. I mean, you're an awesome person anyway, but thank you. We appreciate it. Ugh. I just need to stop talking. So, like, share, subscribe, all the things, and stay tuned for more unhinged talk about the unreal on the regular.
Yeah, you little shits. And that's what all. I'll fade the music.
Sweet.